Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to get into 3 things that can help you change your life, change the way that you interact with people, change the way you think about yourself, and make it a little bit easier to understand some of the things that people have a little bit of difficulty understanding, and that includes myself. Now, the first thing I want to get into today is rigorous authenticity, all right? We hear about authenticity often, but what is rigorous authenticity? All right. So we start with authenticity, meaning authentic to the self, being your real self, okay, as often as you can. That's where you need to start. Why that's important is because if you don't know who you are, then the steps that'll follow suit after this are going to be a little bit harder to follow. But you need to start there, okay? Who am I? Who is Shine? Why am I here? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Because I believe that this can actually help you out. Now, to be rigorously authentic, what that means is it's easy to be authentic when we are doing our own thing in the confines of our own home, around the people that we know and we love. But to be rigorously authentic, what that means is how I talk to this camera is the same way I speak to my family, is the same way I would speak to somebody I'd be in business with, is the same way, so on, etc. You get it. And why is that important? Well, are we doing anybody any favors when we are not being authentic? If somebody you know has a health concern, like diabetes or something like that, just as an example, is it okay to say, well, it'll be all right, you'll be fine, everything works out? Or would it maybe be better to say, listen, you know, for yourself, I've heard that XYZ actually helps diabetes. Watching your sugar, right? Getting exercise. I'm talking about pre-diabetic people here, so just as a metaphor, again. Now, to get into the second one is surrendering the outcome. And why that goes directly after being rigorously authentic is because really, how much can you control? You can control the first thing. You can control how honest you are with yourself and everybody else in this big old spinning boo ball. But if you don't understand that surrendering the outcome is something that, really think about it. How many outcomes can one control? You can control how honest you are with yourself and everyone around you. And people are afraid to do this. We want to hide ourselves. We want to put on a face. We want to get that promotion, and maybe if we dress and primp and do all those things that we need to do, that we think will increase our chances of getting that job. And you may well get it, right? And I'm not saying you don't need to dress up, but you need to be who you are when you're dressed up. And the last thing, the third thing in this 3-part system is doing uncomfortable work. Kind of makes sense if you think about it, right? Because it's not comfortable being rigorously authentic. It certainly is not comfortable surrendering the outcome, especially if you're the kind of person like myself who wants to control their own narrative. But go back to point 1. I do that by being Shine. You do that by being you, okay? And you always have. Just sometimes we put on a face just to be nice, to not hurt feelings, or to make our lives easier. But when we do that, we enable another person to think that they can do the same. And you see how quickly this spreads. So rather than getting anything back that's constructive, what you're getting fed with is destructive. right? Things that are not actually going to work for you. Now, the uncomfortable work, to get back on point, okay, is the first two steps, are the first two steps, excuse me. But without doing uncomfortable work, as I've learned many times, you will not grow. You will stay just like a mushroom in the dark and be continued to be fed. Fill in your own blanks. Now, I was really hoping that that sun was coming today, but I'm gonna bring as much to you as I can. So until next time, my friends, keep on shining. We out.